People one day might say this is my least funny video. I know you might want to switch off. However, it's about respect, and you have to fucking learn this. Every single thing I'm going to tell you, you have to fucking learn. You have to learn every single thing I'm saying and fine tune to the nth degree, right? Wait for it, right? Every single thing I'm going to say to you, you're going to think to yourself, fuck me, that's amazing, right? Genuinely, you have to learn every single thing I'm saying. Learn every single thing I'm saying. It's all about respect. Your life depends on it. You fucking. Here's the thing, right? Basically, every single person on earth, to a certain extent, is different, right? You're different. You're different. I'm different, right? I'm a living Christ, right? Here's the point, right? There are people who, never mind. What I'm saying is, right, everyone's fucking different, right? Do you know what they have in common, though? Most people, it's very hard to take this on board. Most people, maybe even everybody, including myself, are to a certain degree schizophrenic, right? Right? I'll prove it to you, right? Have you ever got so angry, right, that you said to somebody something that you later regretted? Right? Then who was that? If you later regret how you chose to be, and you were who you actually wanted to be, and later on you're actually somebody different who has a completely different mindset from the way you were when you chose to be how you were, and now you have a... So here's the thing, right? So basically, I have cured myself of schizophrenia. Right? It's fucking easy. If you have the particulars of schizophrenia, for example, if you actually see visions and stuff like that, you know, well, take a mobile phone me, and if you think you see a man there, and you think, maybe he's no there, that look at your mobile phone. And if he's not on the mobile phone, oh, he's not there. So anyway, that aside, I'm talking about anger, right? And I'm going to own up to my own anger. You ready? Right? Are you ready? Here's the thing, right? Hatred and me are fucking miles apart, and I'll come back to that. Right? Basically, with me, right, the lowest I've ever gone with anger, wait for it, I've got to the extent where I've been punching down, right? And basically though, I don't even want to call it that. What I fine-tuned to all the way is this. I have been cruel, wait for it, at the same time as using mockery. Think about that. Think about if you're, what are you doing there? One of those people. and basically, all the way down there, basically, someone like me, a living Christ, someone who's a profound genius, who's mega talented and a master of countless disciplines and skills and talent. And here's the thing, right? Imagine me articulately fucking letting you have it to the nth degree, fucking deconstructing you, fucking, and it was really, really bad, you know, knocking fuck out of you, right? And doing it whilst being as cruel as I can possibly be, whilst mocking you with what might be called brute force, you know. Wait for it, was I fully aware of what I was doing? No, I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, oh, here, I did that kind of a thing. And so, the point is, and I was thinking about it last night, you know, so that means I was schizophrenic. Why? Because there's a time later, I was thinking about it. I was like that to myself. I was giving it quite a lot of thought, and I don't always have to sit like that. But however, I was standing. The point is, though, when I was in bed and I had a laptop and I was reading something, and I did a comparison between my true loving self having written eloquently. I'm a great writer. And basically. And then I remembered other shit I'd been writing where, you know, essentially, even though I wasn't aware, as I am now, of how, I just was aware like, oh fuck, there's quite a huge distance, really, between who I truly am and the way I've been, like, hammering fuck out of people online and things like that, you know, because, online people can say to you quite bluntly, I believe in this and I believe in that, and you might not reply respectfully, right? I'll come to it, right? The point is, right, that so in the end, I was just, battering fuck out of people, online. The fuck, that isn't me, really. Yes, I've always loved the truth, and I'll come back to it, right? Here's the thing, right? Fucking get this into your head, right? Basically, when I compared, I repeat, the way I'd been battering fuck out of people online to who I truly am, I wrote a fantastic book called Veracity versus Adversity. Shut it. And the point is, though, and if you read that, it's all about me being non-reactionary, right? Me being, my journey into being Christ-like, from 24 to 26. I tried to start being non-reactionary to be Christ-like, right? Now I'm beyond a Christ. I'm beyond Christ, I'm no longer Christ-like, I'm beyond Christ. Anyway, the point is, though, what I'm saying is, though, it took, wait for it, you ready? I actually started crying, crying. It was so hard, right? Between 24 and 26, I fucking started crying because it was so difficult. I thought, how did Christ manage it? Right? I now know. Basically, I worked at it and worked at it and worked at it for 14 years, right? And from 26 to 40, it took me essentially to become non-reactionary. Genuinely, I live in Christ, right? No, I'm beyond that. The point is that in a nutcake, when you become non-reactionary, it fucking takes ages. Basically, when somebody is sadistic towards you, whatever the reason, right? And they go to you, see that thing I wanted to buy off you? I'm not going to buy it off you now, and I hope you die of cancer. You could think to yourself, I want to punch his, and however, I remember thinking to myself, see if I punch his gun, even just verbally let him have it, mainly, right, predominantly, right, 99.9% of the time that would be my thinking at that time. I thought again and again and again, if I do that to this so-called customer, then the bread that's going into the mouth of a child in Brazil is coming out of the mouth of the child in Brazil, because if I just keep him going, I discovered that eventually, if you keep somebody like that going, they'll go to you, I've changed my mind, right? I don't want you to die. Well, never mind. I'll buy that thing off you now. I've went mental. So, I usually fall that way for no reason. And the point is, though, that happened again and again for about 9.5 years. So I would then flog them something, in IT, because I've mastered many, many disciplines and skills. And here's the thing, I was giving X amount of dosh away to charity, and so by putting up with that character, essentially, then I was able to keep the bread going in to the wee girl's mouth in Brazil or wherever I was donating to. Right? Just the other night, I sent 10 boxes of menstrual, vagina pads and underpants and instruction manuals, right, to Ethiopia, right? for girls to, not only that, they can reuse and clean them and learn how to do this and stuff like that. So it's a gift that keeps on giving, right? Keep doing things like that, right? And the point is, though, when I was with that guy, and he was going on like a character, basically, I realised, again, because of choosing to be non-reactionary for so long, working at it, that I realised, I got this feeling. I got a feeling deep inside of me. Oh, no, I mean, and the point is, though, and that feeling, it was so good. I got it a few times. I've never had that feeling again. And I don't mind, you know, because I've gone better. I've gone much, much better. And I could have sang that better. And the point is, though, that that feeling, because when somebody goes on like that, you don't have to choose to have a negative emotional reaction, right? And basically, you don't have to choose to have a reaction. You can be non-reactionary, right? I wrote a book about it called Veracity versus Adversity. It's available, here's the thing, right? It's actually 1,600 pages. I've only actually done 200 and put it out there, and about three people bought it, and one of them was a mouse, and they ate it. The point I'm conveying, though, is that yeah, so that feeling of, oh, here, excellent, I've reached that fucking stage. And it took me working with those kind of people who were real characters, again and again and again and again, and having that charitable, you know, parallel, you know, at the exact same incident, and basically in my heart, you know. And so basically, right, as I've said, so I got that feeling, you know, because you don't have to choose to have a negative reaction ever, you know. And when I felt that, you know, and like I say, I only felt it maybe two or three times around a bit back then when I was 40, a million years ago, and now I've gone further, and I want to take you further. You fuck it, and basically, and it's all about respect, right? And about understanding that pretty much just about everybody, maybe everybody, is schizophrenic, right? Right? And I've gone beyond that now, right? I've gone totally beyond it, and I'll help you through it with it. I'll even help you down there, you. And basically, the point is that you know, when I was genuinely, let's go all the way down to the bottom, you know. I promised you I would, and basically when it was at the very bottom, as far as I can fucking hit somebody, right, mentally, where I was being as cruel and as using mockery as much as possible to try and hurt somebody, right? Here's the thing, right? That's at the very, very bottom, right? And when I look at that, I repeat, I found myself crying, right? When I compared that to who I actually fucking am, right? I read it, and like I say, and I went, oh, blimey, right? And so, however, didn't stop me, right? Went on for fucking years and years and years, and I regret that, right? Now, basically, so, you know, if somebody has a go at you in person or online, just don't have that, don't choose to have that fucking reaction, right? Wait for it. So that's at the very bottom of what I've been like. No hatred, right? I know I'm different from people in that regard, you know. I used to have a phrase for it. Hatred's a pastime for the fucking stupid. No, it's about respect, right? So that was of the past, right? Right. So anyway, so let's fine tune up a bit, right? What else was there? Well, take it up from there, without the mockery, just cruel, right? And so I was that as well, and so then wait for it. So let's take it up a bit. You know, I was disrespectful, and so let's take it up a bit. You know, I wasn't considerate. You know, so let's take it up a bit. You know, and so on. And basically, when you look at that, you think, fuck me, right? So I was able to all these, all the way down to what I'm capable of, you know, what anyone's capable of, you know. Maybe not as articulate as that, because there are people who have said to me, "You've pretty much reduced me to an inch. I feel about an inch high." And he was 6'6", genuinely. And so, and there was other people like that. And so I am very, very articulate when it comes to deconstructing someone and battering fuck out of them, and verbally, and also morally, because of my love of fucking truth, right? And let's take it all the way back. You ready? basically, when I was about, let me see, about 4.5, there was a particular female who I knew quite well. She would falsely accuse me of this is what went into veracity versus adversity. She would falsely accuse me of, well, what I didn't know, she didn't believe what she was saying about, right? And so I would innocently say, no, mother, that's not true. And I'll tell you why that's not true, because of this, that, and the other. And then she would go, and my head would go, and so you can understand from that what I was doing was speaking truth to power. I didn't comprehend this, speaking truth to power. Well, wait for it. She battered fuck out of me for fucking years and years and years, at least once every 3 days from the age of 4.5, and psychologically tried to torture me as well. That to say, one side. The point is, you would think somebody, who's getting the battered, right, every 3 days from the age of 4.5 right through to, well, let's say my teenage years, right, or thereabouts, right. Let's say it kind of slowed down when I got to about 11, because I discovered a VIC 20, right? Fucking yes, right? I don't know why. She got me a VIC 20. I was in that room on that fucking computer all the fucking time. Here. Can you read it? Never underestimate an old man with a guitar, right? I've been playing the guitar for 1,000,000 years. I'm probably better on the piano. However, I've got loads and loads of songs. You should listen to them sometime. Some of them are fucking excellent, and sometimes when I listen to some of them, I go, the production values, because I mixed them all. Why did I make that decision? Shut it! So anyway, what was on about, right? And so basically, you would think at some fucking juncture, I would say to myself, oh here, see when I tell her the truth, she kicks my cunt in. You would think that, wouldn't you? And so, on it went though, for all those, at least 7 years of that, and it got less and less after that. It still went on. And the point is though, I didn't realise that, well, I'm speaking truth to power, and when I speak the truth to this person who is what people might construe as being powerful because they can batter fuck at you, and they can starve you and send you to bed with no food, right? Even though I was like, you could see my ribs, right? And so, and I could hear my stomach grumbling till 2 a.m, and people playing outside who are allowed out, And what I'm pointing out is, right? So that went on, right, and on and on and on, and yet I never learned. Because I love the fucking truth. I fucking love the truth. What took me really, really long to work out, are you ready? People fucking hate the truth. I'm so different. So different. And that's where hate mainly comes from. There are other examples, obviously. Here's the thing though, the word hurt is in truth, right? And that's why most people hate the fucking truth. I never developed an ego, because I just fucking love the truth. Love it. Love the truth, And so, I didn't realise all the people that have hated me, which was wonderful. I could have done more, a stronger, a more powerful riff, a wee tiny bit better. What I'm saying is, all those people, right, the reason they fucking hated me was because I told the truth. Wait for it. Behind it, though, they were attracted to me. They had some fucking reason to want to be in my life, and it got worse and worse and worse and worse. Brilliant. And so, at no juncture did it dawn on me. Remember, I wrote a novel, Veracity versus Adversity, about my love of fucking truth and my journey to being non-reactionary, not really understanding the reason I've had to work so hard on being non-reactionary is because I fucking upset so many people, because most people develop an ego, right? Most people, wait for it, you ready? Most people can't see themselves, right? Most people, right? Wait for it. And there's people down there, and I'm not trying to be offensive, they're away down there, and they have fuck all self-awareness at all. They genuinely can't see beyond the end of their own nose, and I even battered fuck out of them, right? So that's how schizophrenic I've been, you know, because I look back on that with regret, because obviously, why the fuck would you want to bang, 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 you know, batter fuck out of people who genuinely can't see beyond the end of their own nose for? People who, wait for it, haven't developed beyond infancy. You know, people who have no self-awareness, people who get prefrontal brain function. In fact, in some instances, 94% of their brain doesn't function, and I'm battering fuck out of them on the internet. Is that me? Is that the real me? You know, well, people would say this. Pretty much he knows just about everything about neuroanatomy. He's a master of many things. Yeah, I do. I know tons and tons about neuroanatomy and what it means. But however, one night I found myself crying at one of my own discoveries. Wait for it. I'd put an image of my own mother's prefrontal, basically her fMRI brain scan. fMRI brain scan, and her prefrontal lack of brain function going all the way back, and under it I'd written the word arsehole, and I'd put it out there to loads and loads of people. You know, you are an arsehole, because essentially, no offence to these people, behind a significant percentage of people's foreheads there is an arsehole. You know, you could insult them with that term, and I did. And I found myself fucking crying, because I looked at it and realised, fuck, that is what my mother was. No, she's away now, you know. However, the point is, she was an arsehole, you know. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. This is all about respect, right? And the point is, and you know, I've got some of her belongings in this house, you know, to this day, you know, and so on and so forth. And I did everything I possibly could for her, right up to the fucking moment she was about to die. You know, she essentially starved herself to death. So did two other members of her family. You know, just some women want to do that, and I'd like to cover that, you know, as well. So maybe in a later video. The point is though, so to the very fucking end, I couldn't get a Malteser past her lips. Right? And ironically, some might say, she battered fuck at me one day, because when I woke up starving, you know, which was a regular occurrence, right? She had a box of Maltesers, and there was 4 Maltesers in the box, right? So I woke up early and went into the fridge, and I thought, maybe she will not notice if I just take one. She noticed. That was fun. And yet, on her deathbed, you know, I was still trying to get Maltesers past her fucking lips, and she just, in the end, she went and turned away, and that was it, really. So anyway, basically, yeah, she had no prefrontal brain function, and I didn't know. You know, she suffered from what you would call megalomania, or an extreme form of narcissism, whatever, and she had no self-awareness. She didn't develop beyond infancy, and she didn't have a moral conscience. You know, so she would basically do these things, you know, which was great fun. And there's me, you know. Now, mother, even though you've said those words, false accusation, actually that's not true. In actual fact, the reason I saw the wheels of the hobby horse that you bought me is because so that it was easier to wield when I was running around the bedroom. And so, basically, and never once, you would say, well, hang on. Is that doing anything bad? I would say no. I would agree. You know that you know, I wasn't doing anything bad. You know, I wasn't like saying to her, you know, fuck you cow. I totally disagree with you, you stupid fucking bastard. I'm letting you fucking help. You know, I wasn't like banging. You know, I wasn't being cruel, deliberately cruel, to a certain extent, and to a certain awareness. I mean, and I wasn't like mocking her. I wasn't come up from that just being cruel, come up from that being disrespectful, or wasn't I? Come up from that. Was I being diplomatic? It come up from that. What I'm pointing out is, was I being respectful? Well, the answer is, well, to my perception of reality as a 4.5-year-old, it mainly started focusing in my head when I was about 7. I thought, here I'm getting battered quite a lot now. And like, psychologically, she won't leave me alone. So I'm pointing out though, right? If I had to go back and speak to myself, I'd say this. When someone sees himself as being powerful, rightly or wrongly, right? And they say something to you, and it isn't the truth, right? Even if you fucking love the truth, you know, as I do, whether they're powerful or not, right? Just be fucking diplomatic. Be non-reactionary, you know, and just say, you know, okay, I'll give that some thought. You know, I'll go away and think about it, especially if you've got some experience with them, where you might think, well, hang on, this is an experience here. I'm going to learn from this experience. However, I never learned. You know, so because I can never stop loving the fucking truth, right? So by loving the truth though, and I have this ability to be able to fine tune on any subject at all, to fine tune and fine tune and fine tune and fine tune, always looking for simple, obvious solutions, right? No, that obvious can take me fucking ages, right? So anyway, I always get there, and what I'm saying is though, so if you have experience and there's people in your life, especially if it's regular, even once though, I'm saying, you know, just think to yourself, okay, that person has said words, right? I don't agree with those words. Just be fucking diplomatic, you know? Be diplomatic, you know? You or say fuck all. Just, you know, or agree with them, or go and try and change that, or find some common ground, you know, whatever. Especially if you've had the experience where you haven't been the way I'm advising you to, right? And I'm going to get global, right? And say you haven't, say you have had this experience where, and the person goes, verbally, whatever. It could be subtly. It could have fucked you. They stolen your parking space. They burned your house down. Whatever. It could be anything. Far-reaching, right? Just ranging from any type of negativity from top to bottom, right? If you've had that experience once, right? Why are you doing it to yourself? You know, once, and has it happened again? You know, if it's a girlfriend, if it's a boss, if it's a local politician, whatever. I'm not picking on anyone. I'm just randomly. If it's a policeman, if it's a teacher at school, if it's your mother, if it's your one of your friends, if it's a band member, if you're in a band, if it's a lecturer, whatever. If it's a doctor, if it's anybody you can think of. I'm not singling anyone out, right? And whatever it is, whatever that person is, right? And online, in person, if you have had the experience where you have told them the truth and you witnessed their reaction, and it was one where it had a negative effect on you, right? Then you're doing it to yourself if it happens again, right? Because what if that person is what you would say essentially has power? They can make decisions that affect your life, right? And once, right, and you've essentially, to their perception, let them fucking have it, whether that's true or not, because I repeat, when I first started speaking truth to power at 4.5, I was not in any way, shape or form trying to be cruel, mockery, and whatever, so on. However, ask yourself, when people are letting you fucking have it, right? Verbally, physically, fiscally, whatever, and materially, spiritually, whatever you want to simplify it as being, right? If that person has done that once, right, you should learn from it and realise, I'm never going to be that way ever again, especially with that person, let alone anybody. Think about that, right? And if you are like that with other people, is that just because they're not powerful? You know, what does that make you then? A bully? You know, just think it through. And what I'm pointing out is, what if though that person, whether they're powerful or not, whatever they want to call themselves, right? What if they've done something to you again? You think about that. How many times has that fucking happened? I'll tell you, when I got to about 15, 16, 17, right? Fuck me. Oh no. Oh dear, right? Right, basically, people showed up who could play the guitar, right? I remember like playing the guitar once when I was very young, and I think it was one of the only good things that Stalin's boss ever did for me, right? She went, ha ha ha, and I was going ding 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 ding. It was absolute nonsense, you know. And I jumped up and down one day in the room that I was allowed to be battered in, and I heard. I make that sound louder. It sounded better than that. And basically, I was just a pile of toys, and right? Oh, fuck me. And she came in and started fucking me because I'd accidentally broken the fucking guitar. Anyway, along came these guitarists who were and basically I genuinely couldn't play the guitar, really. I tried, wait for it, when I first started learning the guitar, it was like having brain damage and recovering from brain damage, you know. And I remember putting my fingers going, and that I had to do that again and again and again and again for fucking about a year and a half, right? You know, and so here's the thing, right? Along came these guitarists, right, and other motherfuckers, and basically they were attracted to me, right, because I wanted to sing, I wanted to do rock music and go places and be a D-list celebrity. And so the point being though, when they were attracted to me, what they weren't attracted to and were repelled by was when they said something that wasn't true, I would at least say, I disagree, right? And that was it. And it drove some of them up the fucking wall. I disagree, you know, and I wasn't trying to be offensive at all, right? I remember one of them saying, you know, I fucking hate it when you say that, right? And he wasn't a guitarist. And so the point I'm getting to is, right, that all of them, all the people in my life, they weren't all guitarists, and fortunately, and basically, fuck me, all I had to do was just disagree, and it drove them up the wall. Wait for it though. When they would let me have it, right? I would then fucking let them have it and fucking really articulately bang, 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 fine tune, as I've said, fine tune all the fucking way down to their level, right? And really fucking bang when I got to that level, fine tune, right? All the way down there. And that's who you are, you fuck, yeah, and take that, you, and learn from this, you, and that's not the truth, you fucking, and you're a bad person, and this makes you, and you can't, and whatever, you know? And that's when they felt that size, you know? And what happened? Well, they get worse and worse and worse to me, and I still didn't fucking learn, you know? Still let them visit me, you know? And they were real characters to me. And basically, on it went. What did they do? They said, you are what I am. And if I look back on my life, I've heard that fucking countless times since I was 4.5, right? My entire fucking life, I've heard people say, you are what countless people, right? So, and when someone essentially says, you are what I am, they can use any words to disguise that formula. However, I call it an infant's formula, ironically, in a sense, some might say, because I'm actually developing an infant's formula called pure love. Right? And it's very important to take all of what I'm saying on board so that can get out there. What I'm pointing out is though, right, so since 4.5, people have been giving me that infant's formula, because there's so many people who don't develop beyond infancy because they develop an ego instead, because they would prefer what they would just prefer reality to be to reality. And along comes me. That's not the truth. You're fucking. How dare you? You're a bad. You're going to hell. That's wrong. How can you think that you're a bad person? And whatever. Obviously, I do it articulately. You know, I deconstruct and rip them to pieces and fucking blah 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 blah. All of the past. Right. What I'm pointing out is right. I'll get to the point. Right. So these people who are reduced to that, and they were saying fucking, you are what I am, you are what I am, you are what I am. They were admitting that they fucking hate themselves. So what was that doing? I don't fucking hate anybody. So I was accidentally hating them, or making them hate themselves. What the fuck? And so I mean, isn't that cruel? Is that me? No, it's not fucking me. It's not who I want to be. Then why was I being it? Is that not schizophrenia? Basically, without the kind of visual delusions or the audio delusions, although, wait for it, I did hear audio delusions till I was 26, and I realised, that's her voice. I'm away now. And basically, till I was 26, I heard her voice in my fucking head. So, I have heard audio visions. In fact, I still have a sadistic superego, and I think most people do. There's lots and lots of women, not all of them, who look in the mirror and say, fuck's sake, you look as, oh fuck, are you fucking, what the fuck? And for some reason, women just can't understand how fucking beautiful they are, and that's why X amount of them starve themselves to death. Even when they get in their 60s and 70s and 80s, they still try and starve themselves on a daily basis, try and keep slim and beautiful. What? You don't need to be that way. However, I couldn't get a fucking Malteser past their lips on their deathbed. But the point is, they need to take these truths on board, and you can call it body dysmorphic disorder. And so, anyway, what was the point? That basically, that, fucking schizophrenia, when, I'm fucking saying to them, bang, 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 you think this way, and in actual fact, you don't have the, and when it comes to, and you said, when you invented the word unself-aware, and I still didn't understand it, Imagine inventing the word unself-aware when I was 17. Inventing it, right? And still not understanding it. It takes me fucking ages. That's why I have to fine-tune with my love of truth, my absolutism. Because as an absolutist, lover of veracity and morality, being moral as fuck, the point is that, I can't, until I get there, I can't know. And I have to know, on any subject at all, learning a piano piece, well, what would help me unlock all of that person's ability on the piano? Well, with Chopin, learn Chopin Opus 66. And that's it, you can pretty much play all of Chopin. So, those kind of like simple solutions, and all the way down to like microplastics, where I'm looking into trying to get microplastics and heavy nanoparticle metals out of infant formula. Stay tuned. So anyway, the point is though, so I repeat, if you look at how you've been when you're angry, right? Do you regret it, right? And how many times have you been that way to that person? And what's happened to you? Did you lose that partner because of that? You look back and you think, oh fuck, let that person have it. That male friend or that female partner. I don't know what sex you are. The point is though, whatever, and you lost that person. You look back, hang on, why? Why? They would say things and I would say things. They would get angry and then I would get angry, and then it would, it would spiral and so on. And that relationship ended. And you might have suffered from that. It might just be sadness. It might be, worse than sadness. I wouldn't know. I've never actually been emotionally hurt although I have like felt pity, you know, when Stalin's boss was on her bed, you know, and she was away with the pharaohs. Basically, I felt pity, you know, and it went, you know, and just like with that feeling when I was first properly Christ-like, you know, non-reactionary, you know, that feeling has not come back, and I've gone one better. I'm beyond being a Christ. Wait for it, you know. And so basically, it's really, really simple. Just look at all your relationships, the ones that have went tits up, and anything that's happening right now in your fucking life. If it's not going well for you, and it's the same person, you know, you might not even be aware it's the same person, you know. For example, if you work somewhere and you piss off like the boss's boss's boss, right? And you don't know you've pissed them off, you know, whatever it is, you know, you might be skiving, you know, and whatever, and they see you, you know, and they essentially, you eventually get the sack. However, until you get the sack though, you get some of your privileges removed, you get this removed, you get that removed, and you don't know. It's the boss's 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 boss. However, so it's important to always, 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 always fucking be a good person, right? And how do you be a good person? Well, you have to realise this important point I'm getting to. You ready? I'm going to blow your socks off. You ready? Thought crime. Imagine me saying that. Thought crime, right? Thought crime, right? You would say, hang on, how can thought be a crime? No thought's a fucking crime. Bollocks. Because when someone's negative towards you in some way, right, and you think about it, right, that then leads to your actions, right? Whereas when someone's negative towards you, you don't have to think about it. Now, you don't have to think about it, because if you think about it, what happens? Well, you end up going, huh, he's a fucking, and you reduce them to that, you know. You start banging down, you know. And bear in mind, a lot of people genuinely don't develop beyond infancy. They can't fucking see themselves, right? They have no insight, you know. They might not even have any hindsight, you know. They don't live in a continuum. Every day's Groundhog Day, blah blah blah. And I'm not having a go at anybody. What I'm saying is that, so just bear all this in mind. And so, wait for it. Like I say, if someone gives you a fucking hard time even once, right, and you give them a hard time back, which you shouldn't fucking do, when you don't have to even have a negative thought, let alone a negative reaction. You think about it, you know. If someone comes up to you and says, "You're a fucking ugly looking fucking bastard and you're as thick as shite, see you stink of fucking elderberries," right? Whatever, right? They could really let you have it and steal your parking space, you know. The point is though, that do you have to think about it? Right? You might say, well, fuck, how, it's difficult that though, you know. However, there's Tibetan monks, right? And if you fire a gun next to their ear, 5 minutes later, oh, do you fire that gun there? That's exactly how Tibetan monks sound. And so, think about that, right? 5 minutes after you fire a gun next to the fucking ear. Now, I'm not saying get that far. I'm just saying, realise if you recognise, oh fuck, that's a negative, whether the person believes it or not, whether they're trying to hurt you or not, right? If it's negative, don't give it any fucking thought. Don't pay it any fucking mind. Don't dwell on it. Don't fucking harbour it. Don't fucking give it any thought. Don't. You know, if a negative thought, you know, if something's negative, whatever it is, whatever it is, whatever, just fucking go on with what you were doing, you know, just crack on, you know, be oblivious, you know. It can very often be miles beneath you, and you know, so, and stay up there, you know, up in the clouds where I am. And so there's that. Whereas, however, if you do give it thought, then what happens? You then think, I'm gonna let them fucking have it, you know. Next thing you're fucking punching down the fucking Narnia, you know. And so, when I'm saying, fuck me, look at yourself when you go on like that. How many people have you lost in your life? What's happened to you as a consequence of that? You know, you did it to yourself. You know, you said, no, they did it to me. You know, no, you did it to your fucking self. You know, it was your decision. You know, your decision. You know, you chose to have the reaction. You chose to think about it, right? You then chose to do something about it, and it was negative. When you look at it and you compare yourself to that, do you ever look back, I repeat, and say, fuck me? I use certain terms I would never actually fucking use. You know, and I did. You know, I fucking really let that person fucking have it. I reduced them to that, fucking blah blah, you know, or whatever. You know, you might not realise you reduced them to that, and they might be banging because you have, you know. And so all I'm pointing out is you look back on that and you think to yourself, fuck me, I lost that girlfriend, and I lost that girlfriend, I lost that fucking girlfriend, and I lost that friend, and I lost that friend, and I lost that fucking band member, and I lost that band member, I lost that fucking job, and I lost this, and I lost that, and I lost that relationship, and that family member, and that fucking blah blah. Now, I'm not saying those people should have been in my life in the first place. However, if I look back, every single one of those people, whether they would still be in my life or not, they might be, and it would be like a satellite, you know, basically hit somebody who would, you know, come and go, and that's fair enough, you know. And I think I wanted more than that, you know. I wanted someone who, you know, I know with depth of heart, and somebody who, you know, I would see regularly, and we would, you know, do successful together, and so, you know, male or female, whatever, and so all I'm pointing out is though. That wasn't going to happen, and yet if I look back, you know, bang, 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 and what happened to me? Well, I never learned, you know. They would come back, and I didn't realise they had intentions, right? Wait for it. One of them, right? Erol, what about the heroin? Would you like to try the heroin? This instinct, no, you know. Erol, would you like to try the heroin? I'd like you to try the heroin, right? On he went, and you only we'll just try it once, right? And actually, we'll not try it again, just the once. He was trying to get me to take heroin because he knew me so well. I have obsessive compulsion, right? And so basically, he realised if I was to take heroin with obsessive compulsion, I might go, here, I want to take that again, till I'm dead, you know, and or really addicted and worn down, whatever. And he was targeting me with that when I already had like my second nervous breakdown, you know. I've had a fun life. And so the point is though, and I hope he's a better person now. And when I look at that though, and the other behaviour from him and the others around him, it was always the same thing. They came back into my life, right? Came back into my life just after they had like been hurt by me. Remember, hurt isn't truth. So again, they come back into my life, again, and they get worse and worse towards me, always going, you are what I am, you are what I am, you are what I am, right? And I never understood it, you know. I just said, oh, that's not true, you know, that's not true, and then bang back, you know, and it got worse and worse till I was just eventually thinking to myself, they genuinely think I am something that I'm not, you know, and so it got worse and worse for me. So and that was their agenda, you know, just like try and get him to feel that he is what he isn't, make him feel like he's a bad person, then I can fuck off, you know, right? That's the simplification of their thought process, right? There's fun characters, there's wonderful guitarists, you know, and other people. And so, in a nutcake though, all I'm pointing out is that, so, it's because I'd fucking hurt them. I didn't realise I'd fucking hurt them. I just love the fucking truth. And if somebody says something that's not fucking true, bang, you know, that's not true, you know, or at least I disagree instantly. I disagree, you know, you know, drove them up the fucking wall, you know. It's driving me up the fucking wall. Shut it, you. And so the point is though that, so even think about that. Remember, diplomacy, right? Being considerate. You know, if somebody says something and you disagree, right, think about the consequences for that person. Ergo, if you want to be selfish, think, what about the consequences for yourself? Right? Remember what I'm talking about, thought crime, right? So when these people were you know, bang, 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 you know. And I would think about it because it was sadistic, whatever you want to call it, or somebody trying to be cruel, trying to hurt you because they've been hurt by the truth and you reflect the truth, you know, whether you're aware of it or not. And most people fucking hate the truth. So if you speak the fucking truth, you're going to be hated quite a lot, turns out. And so, and what I'm pointing at is this, right? Thought crime, right? It's so important, right? Globally, I told you, globally, thought crime. Thought crime, right? It's happening globally, thought crime. And what happens to you, right? Well, you think about in Africa, right? With this wee tribe and this wee tribe, and that wee tribe finds out that tribe don't like them, right? And they have different culture, different customs. Wait for it. And one of them sneaks in and sits with them. How you doing? That's how they talk in Africa. How you doing? And they pretend and sit in, right? And they get like, oh fuck, and they hear what they really, really think about them. And they go back. They fucking hate us. They know what this is about us. The way we eat fucking lamb's brains, that we're daft in the fucking heat. That's what they think about. Let's go and fucking kill them, right? And you think to yourself, fuck off. You know, does that happen? It does. Happens, right? Where it could be not necessarily lamb's brains. However, whatever it is, you know, their custom different from those customs. That religion different from that religion. That fucking eat, even the food they eat as well. You know, or they might like envy. Like he's got a better looking chick than they've got in that tribe. Whatever it is, right? And however, it's always the fucking truth. That's what fucking hurts, right? So. Alright, they shouldn't have snuck in, however it happens. So think about that. It happens. People sneak into your life, remember? Those so-called fucking friends snuck into my life again. What was their intention? To try and make me feel that I am what they are, make me feel like I'm a bad person and walk away. So they had an agenda. So it doesn't matter though. You know, it's all in the past. However, it might be important to you, and it's definitely important globally, right? And I'll tell you, because what I'm saying is, think about that wee tribe. If they'd known, right? If they'd known that that person was sneaking in, right? And what was going to happen to them for having these thoughts about that tribe, they wouldn't have been massacred, right? And massacres happen in Africa on a regular basis. It just doesn't make the news or what have you. So it does though, you know. And so think about why though, because you know, word gets around. Word gets around, you know. And you look at what's happening in Ukraine, you know, and in Russia, right? Word gets around, right? Basically, what in Ukraine, the people behind all that found out what the people in Ukraine thought and decided to kill them. You know, simple as that. And the people in Ukraine didn't like, or were led to not like what the people in Russia, they're led to believe they think, you know. And very often, you know, that there isn't that much difference, you know. That if you look at those two African tribes, you know, almost fuck all difference. If you look at how close Ukraine and Russia are together, you know, genetically and so on and so forth, and historically and blah blah blah. So, all I'm pointing out is though, imagine though, we could hear each other's thoughts, right? Then, think about that. Imagine we could hear each other's thoughts. Would that make you a better person? It should, because wait for it, you can hear your own fucking thoughts, right? And why don't you start with that? You know, why don't you start with, here, whenever there's something negative, I have a negative reaction. I choose to think about it. I choose to then do something about it, or say something about it, or act on it negatively, and blah, blah, blah. And wait for it, let's look at Gaza. You look at Gaza, right? In close proximity, again, to Israel, right? And in a nutcake, obviously they know each other for 75 fucking years, right? Now, and to conclude, they know what they're thinking. They perhaps didn't know that they know what they're thinking. However, they do, because I repeat, spies go in. How many times have you heard spies? You know, you've got diplomats, you've also got spies. Spies in every single fucking war without exception, right? The spies go in, they learn the lay of the land, wait for it, and it fucking enrages those in power. It really, really angers them because, you know, why does that phrase exist? Speaking truth to power. Why does that phrase exist? What does it mean? You know? Well, the answer is, as I discovered when I was 4.5, and didn't learn from quickly enough, by any stretch of the imagination. Basically, people who are in power, right? And they probably won't want to hear this, right? Power is the most dreadful direction to go in life. Right? Dreadful. Absolutely fucking dreadful. Dreadful. Absolutely fucking dreadful. And what happens then? If you're in power, obviously the spies come back to you and they give you the information, right? I spoke about that in previous videos, right? And the spies come back and say, here's what people think about you, you know, right? And people who are in power get into power because they're megalomaniacs, you know, they fucking love themselves, right? And everyone should fucking love me. Everyone should do what I fucking say. Whatever, you know, I'm not going to berate them and anything like that. What I'm saying is, though, you look at Julius Caesar and these kind of people, all the Caesars, right? Nero, whoever, you know, just think about all these people. What was it that fucked them off? What fucked them off? When they were in power and they could have done anything they wanted. Because there have been kings and queens who have been in power and they've been fucking beautiful and wonderful towards every single motherfucker in their land, you know. Why? You know, what was happening there? Well, there was mutual fucking respect, you know. Mutual respect, you know. And so, obviously though, the problem is though, if someone's in charge, right? The boss's boss, and the spies come back to them. They ones over there, you know what they were saying about you? You stink of elderberries. Or worse, you know, they are articulate in their fucking hatred. I remember, I don't have any fucking hatred. I love the truth, and I bang, 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 to correct people, you know, to correct them, you know, and I don't do that anymore. Here's a simple phrase. If you're going to correct someone, ever, the first and only person you should correct is yourself. So anyway, remember that. And if you think, well, hang on, I've got children, but lead by example. You know, a very, very famous pop singer whose name I won't mention because I don't like her, and music, and she was taking drugs, right? And eventually her father came in and just said to her, look, I was taking these drugs and here's exactly what happened to me, and that's what happened to you. And he didn't come and go, bang, 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 you stupid fucking, what happened, it makes you, no, he just he led by example. And she ended up stopping taking the drugs eventually and became mega, mega famous, you know. However, so let's go back to the point though. So the spy, by the way, it's not just the elderberries. They actually say you're as thick as shite, you're as ugly as fuck, right? I mean, you're really, really fucking stupid, and you can't see yourself. And right, see when you make decisions, you make the same decisions over and over again, and you don't get it. You're as thick as shite, and you're as ugly as fuck, and you're so stupid and corrupt, and everything about you is fucking really, really shite. You're a really shite, nasty, evil fucking person. That's what they think about you. Now imagine that. Imagine you're in power. And your spy comes and tells you this. That's the exact words they use. And you're in power, and you're a megalomaniac. You're genuinely Julius Caesar. You're in control of the whole of Rome. And you hear that, right? About this fucking wee tribe over here. What are you going to do? Well, what's happened throughout history? Right? What's happened? Well, they go into that fucking area and they kill everybody, right? Or worse, right? Worse, right? Think about that. Why would they make it worse than just killing you? You know, gone in a flash, away to heaven or away to hell, you know, or spiraling somewhere, you know, out there. And so that's your choices. The point is really, in a nutcake, why would they actually instead like annex and fucking then come and torture and throw dead calves over the fucking the citadel walls, and why would they then, when they get in, you know, like rape out all the women and torture the men and put them in prison, and then make the children insane, and put this person in charge who's not right in the head, and all, you know, why would they fucking do all these really nasty negative why, when there's been kings and queens who've been benevolent as fuck, you know? And so why would they do that? Well, because they learned the fucking truth, you know, and the truth fucking hurts, you know. And these people genuinely thought that. They thought that way. It was a thought crime. And you might say, well, hang on, was it the truth? Right? It might be the fucking truth. However, think about those words I just fucking used. Imagine me meaning every single one of those words and saying that to someone's face, right? And doing my level best to be as cruel and to mock them as much as I could possibly do so, and doing it again and again and again. I have done, right? And I've done worse. that was the kind of like comedic version. I've done fucking worse, you know, right? Therefore, I have been schizophrenic, you know, and I've cured myself, right? Because I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to like write on the internet, take that to anybody, you know, and I'm going to do my level fucking best to be non-reactionary to an extraordinary extent, you know, where it's never going to, that feeling's not going to come back, you know. Like if you do take heroin, you know, I've been told, you know, it's like God kisses you, you know, and then after God kisses you, you know, you think, oh, that was brilliant, I want that to happen again now. After that, you'll never ever experience that again, and you'll chase after that dragon, and you'll never get there. So anyway, somehow I instinctively knew that somebody was trying to mislead me in that direction. So, and I do empathise with people who are in that addiction. You know, it's, you know, and some people can live with it though. You know, there's lots and lots of people who do live and they take heroin and methadone and stuff like that. And I have tried methadone myself just once by accident. You know, I was like, Freddie Mercury gave me it. Don't ask. And basically, and when I smoked it, my first thought was, bless them. Told you sometimes fall that way. Predominantly, and genuinely, all the people who'd been bad to me, I thought, bless them. And it really, really fucking helped, you know. I've never had marijuana, like ever, did I say heroin? Marijuana with methadone in it. That's what it was. This guy, a spitting image of Freddie Mercury, came running out the place that I normally got marijuana from, and I was told, he did this, and then he ran down the stairs, ran across the street, jumped over a wall and fucked off. This really tall wall, just fucked off, you know, and I smoked that. And I believe that that's what was in it, methadone, and that's exactly what happened. You know, all these people, I couldn't get out of my head. I was so fucking angry because they told lies about me and tried to make out that I am what they are, a bad person. And then when I smoked that, and I think I was 26, and or something like that, you know, and I think it was, and fuck me, I remember those exact words. Bless them. Right? Think about that. Right? Have that in your fucking head. Wait for it. The spies who went into Gaza. Remember, right? The people in charge of what was happening in Gaza. It's kind of been an open air torture chamber for 75 years, right? What's been happening? Why has that been happening then? What? Because they're innocent. And I would think, oh fuck, well they are innocent, because obviously they've got like one stick between them. However, are they innocent? Well, thought crime, right? The spies go in, they fucking hear what they're saying, and it turns out, wait for it, it just gets worse and worse and worse. You can understand though, right, what happens, right? They come in and they kill, right, they drop a bomb. It didn't get to that overnight though, so I'm accelerating and I'll take it back a bit. They drop a bomb on a man's house, and with the bones, the skull bones of his daughter they then say, we're hiring you to now build us a house on your daughter's bones, right? And he does, And you would think to yourself, well, that should be an end to it then. Surely they've punished him so much for his thought crime because they've sent their spies in and they've heard that he fucking hates Jews. He fucking hates them. Fucking hates them. Absolutely fucking hates them. I don't hate anybody, right? But they've put their spies in and they have heard these thought crimes, right? Now imagine if you're a Jew and you're in charge, right? You're in charge of Israel, you're in charge of what happens to people in Gaza. Let's put it that way. I mean, people who are in charge don't actually have to live in the places where the actual war takes place. They can live fucking on top of a fucking mountain in Switzerland, right? Fact. And so the point I'm conveying is, if you're still with me, think about, they did it to themselves. And you might say, you evil, how can you, 75 fucking years until, wait for it, 5,000 children were carpet bombed every fucking week in a row. Why? And you say, well, because they're... Wait for... What is it? Why? Why them specifically? But just because they're right next door, just like the Hutus and the Tutsis, with their lamb's brains. And so, not to be misconstrued, what is it? Why? Well, I repeat, look at history if you want to, right? Look how many times spy goes in, every single fucking war. They come back and they go to the person in charge and say, here's the truth. And that's an end to the matter, right? And remember what I said about the boss, right? They can do incremental things, take away your privileges, start with that, and if that doesn't seem to work, remember this though, there are people like me, and there are people, maybe you're the same, and loads of people who don't understand. They will take away your privileges, right? And you don't even realise, right? They will take away your parking space. No, they'll actually, the wage increase that somebody else in the same fucking department or beside it, they're getting, you're not getting it, and so and they're getting special privileges as well on top of that, and so they've got spies. Every fucking workplace has spies. Every single big company has to, to a certain extent, right? So just think about thought crime, right? How your life is affected by thought crime, and it's your own thoughts. You're doing it to yourself. You're a masochist essentially if you allow yourself to have negative thoughts, if you allow yourself to have a negative fucking reaction based upon those fucking thoughts, and if you do have a negative thought, get it out your fucking head. Get it out your fucking head. It's a thought crime, right? Yeah? And so what I'm pointing out is though, so the spies go in, wherever it might be, and at first they take away your privileges, at first they do this and that, and it just gets worse and worse, and why is it getting worse and 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 worse, till they're carpet bombing 5,000 fucking children in a week? What? For no reason, right? And you would say, well, doesn't that make them... do you want carpet bombed? Well, if you do, it's coming, right? The people in charge, if they're prepared to carpet bomb 5,000 children in broad daylight, what are they going to fucking do to you? And the answer is, what are they already doing to you? And you don't know. And the reason is because thought crime, right? You have to try and understand, right? Any negative fucking thought has consequences, right? And you might say, well, isn't that just on this fucking earth? And I would say, well, hang on. If it is, and you don't know about it, then everything is based upon your intention. I 100% agree with that, right? 100%. Good intention channels the moral law of divinity, the most important law, right? That's the most important truth, right? Bad intention, though, you get fucking punished for it. However, on this fucking planet, wait for it, there are also people here who act as though they are karma. And to a certain extent they are. Because, I repeat, most people fucking hate the truth. Then along comes a motherfucker like me. Listen, by the way, not every guitarist's a bad bastard, so it's a bit of respect. The point is, I'm really, really good guitarist now. The other side, I know every guitarist can get better, and every guitarist can teach every guitarist. And also people of the past who were bad bastards back at the I'm talking in a past tense, right? I no longer think that way, and also I hope, as I said earlier, that they're better people now, for their own sake, and for those around them, right? So again, wait for it. Now that you know about thought crime, now that you know having a negative thought spies can pick up on it. Now you know that. If you fucking have a negative thought, then you do have bad intention, right? At least to yourself. Wait for it. What about to them? You know, when it goes back to Caesar, I was eating crisps there, and I was quite enjoying myself. Enjoying eating these crisps, right? I was listening to some music, and I was fucking really enjoying myself. And then I got this information, right? I'm obsessed with information. And they said I was a fucking ugly, smelly bastard. I'm going to fucking bomb they cunts now. Right? What I'm saying is, you'll at least have your privileges taken away. And look at what's happening in your culture. Everything that's happening that I'm going to do my level best to improve upon, right? I've got a site called smallchange.site and I'm working on the motherfucker very slowly. However, because I always fine tune and then I get going, you know. So fine tune, and then when I get to the nth degree, and then whoomph, you know, I ascend and fucking expand, you know. Basically, pan out, and so not to be misconstrued. And so what I'm pointing out is basically. So just bear that in fucking mind, that obviously good intention, bad intention, and there's people though who, even if they just fucking hear the truth about themselves and you don't have any bad intention, they can maybe want to do something bad to you and maybe just, you know, take your privileges away, do something bad to you, whatever, you know. However, if they think to themselves that you fucking do actually fucking hate them and you actually do want to do something bad to them, you are thinking bad things about them and blah 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 blah, then, well, if they know about that, and they're in charge, right? They're going to act as though they're fucking karma. What's going to happen to them? Obviously, what I've already said, you know. The worst thing you can actually be is in power, you know. It is the worst thing. Wait for it though. There are people in power who are going like, oh, is it fuck, you know? However, no, it is, you know. It is because it's the wrong decision. It's the wrong direction to have gone in life, you know. And there's some people who genuinely only have one direction, and I'm not fucking putting them down, you know, and basically, all I'm pointing out is what I put in a previous video, right, that I'll try and release tonight. It's called Erol On Alcohol. You should watch it. I get pissed in it, right, on the Guinness, which I've been drinking for 37 years, you and so, for a reason, and I'll be drinking it tonight, finishing, fine-tuning it, because I've already edited it, I'm going to fine-tune it. So, one point now is, right, that I know for a fact, because obviously I'm quite public, you know, I've been putting my thoughts out there for 13 and a half years, and people have been going bang, 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 I've been going bang, 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 take that you fucking, how dare you, and then I've been fucking cruel, and I've mocked people who are afflicted, you know, and I really regret that. And people say, but Erol, when they bang and fuck at you, listen, I'm telling you, if you fucking respect people, if you fucking respect them, you can very often find out, you know, do you know what, if I don't have any kind of negative reaction, don't think about it, don't want to do anything about that, and let it pass. I'm telling you, even the most powerful people, even the most ruthless people, even people, no matter what they're calling in life, I know for a fact, right, they do good. They do fucking good, right? And you might not even know how much good they fucking do, right? Because they very often can keep it quiet, whereas I throw my fanny pads in there. I bought 10 boxes of menstrual products for Ethiopia. And I also sent money to fucking Gaza the other day, and I'm going to also spend money in a few days to try and get a wee family out of Gaza. Well, put money towards it. And I also bought some chickens for India the other. I keep doing these. I'm going to do even better, and the best way to do as much good as you possibly fucking can is to find out who's in charge. I'll tell you how you can find that out. Just never have a negative thought in your fucking head ever again, and if you're kind of provoked in any way, take a deep breath if you have to, and think, oh, I can learn from that, you know. And what am I advising you to do? Well, what does a fucking a politician do? You know, I mentioned them earlier. You know, if you say to them, you know, something, and say for example they're speaking to somebody who is in power, right? And somebody who's in power says to them, "You're a fucking idiot. And see that fucking law you came up with, it's bullshit, you're a fucking moron, right? Right, if you're a politician, what should be your reaction to somebody who is genuinely in power? You know, I appreciate what you're saying. I've taken it on board. I'll give it a lot of thought, and if you like, I'll get back to you. Would you like that? Right? Fucking be more like that. genuinely, right? Be more like that. You know, and if the person in power says back to them, well, no, all right. I'll think about that. I'll maybe let you get back to me. And see if you do get back to me, what are you going to say to me then, you fucker? I've given it a lot of thought, right? If you don't mind me saying, and I apologise in advance, I still believe what I originally thought. I've taken on board what you're saying. If you'd like me to articulate why I still believe what I'm saying, what I believe, you know, I'll say that to you. If it would offend you, even for 1 second, I will not say that to you. Right? What I'm saying to you is this, though. I've taken on board what you're saying. Would you like me to explain to you why I don't believe that to be true, and why I believe we should still do what I was originally thinking about? And I'm not saying my thoughts are any better. You get the fucking idea, right? And so, fucking, that's who's fucking carpet bombing Gaza, right? That's who's putting fucking people through a meat grinder in Ukraine, right? That's who are genuinely not giving a fuck about what's happening all over fucking Africa. Now, there are loads of people though who are in power all over the fucking world who do care, right? And you can find them. I'm one of them. I'm not saying I'm in power. I'm the antithesis. You know, everything I'm doing. I'm going to be doing. The selling point, the unique selling point is everyone I'm going to be contacting. I'm going to be telling them, I don't make 1 pence from this. Right? Not 1 pence. I'm going to show them what I've done and what I'm giving away. You know, and what I want to do, I'm going to try and factor out so other people do it for me. So obviously, can I get 1,000 farms? Have I got like £1 trillion, you know, $1 trillion or whatever? You know, can I get 1,000 farms? No, I need that though. I need 1,000 farms. So I'm going to contact tens of thousands of farmers and say, look, here's what I want, you fucker, right? And I'll put it respectfully like that. And also, I want it to be I want certain products to be grown hydroponically. Here's exactly what I'm thinking about. Here's the site I've got. Here's what I'm driving to that site. Here's what I've got on it. Here's what I want to do. And basically, see if they're up for it. And obviously, most farmers will go, get yourself to fuck, Earl. Most farmers say, I don't know why. And other farmers will go, I'll give it some thought. I've thought about it and get to fuck. And so I'm prepared to do that, you know, thousands of times, because eventually, obviously, there'll be some farmers, some hydroponic guys who'll go, fuck, okay, well, and you'll stick me on the thing, and then you'll drive the traffic from this, and you know, traffic, the human traffic, and basically, you'll, and I can get, and yeah. And I'm not going to make 1 fucking pence from it, and it's all yours, you know, and it's just for a really good cause, and blah, blah. And here's what I've donated to charity, here's what I want to donate to charity, here's what I'm doing for charity, here's what I want to give to charity, this is charity, blah, blah, can you make this small change, and then wait for it, and then see if, further reaching, see if it's possible to influence decision makers. And where, you know, that there'll be incentives for them to do this, and, you know, subsidies, grants, whatever, da-da-da. So, and you can do it, you know, I'll be doing it, anyone can do it, just fucking care, you know, and care to a global extent, and bear this in mind, that it doesn't matter a fuck what you want, it doesn't matter a fuck, right? It's what the people in charge want, and the ones at the very, very top, they have their spies everywhere. I told you it was global, right? Everywhere. Their spies are everywhere. Well, they could be under your fucking bed, right? I'm not kidding you. What I'm saying to you is, every fucking thought you have, make sure it's not negative. Make sure it's a fucking good thought. Make sure you're giving, you know, for example, you know, I am, a really, really good songwriter. You know, it's one of my many masteries. And basically, what I'm pointing out is that, today, you know, I wrote a song, did 7 takes, which is quite unusual for me. 7 takes of the vocal, and yeah, it's quite good. It's a song called Why, right? And I'll get you the lyrics, right? Right, you ready? You ready? It's a song that every man should know about every woman, really. You know, if you intend to start a relationship with a woman, right? This is the actual lyrics. I know what most men are like, and perhaps you do too, right? This is what you should say to a woman, right? The most important trait is honesty through and through. Almost every man has two brains, and the one between his legs takes prisoners. They rarely confess. The depth of consideration to the consequence when a man doesn't see the long-term future, yet still is a womanipulator, I mentioned that word, womanipulator, makes enemies with his nature. I started out perverted, then the older I got, that evaporated. Now beauty's all that's left. Most other men will lie, that's the life they'd have you live. Whilst they're on the take, all I want is to give. Now, I don't know if you can hear in the background, basically the next door neighbour has basically probably quite upset at me going on this long, and so he switched on his washing machine. So I'm going to end the video at this. Can you hear it? And so wait for it. It could be a spy. Remember, they're under the bed. So basically, whatever it is, you know, remember they are everywhere, right? And when it comes right down to it, it could be your next door neighbour that goes and grasses on you. You know, it could be your girlfriend that goes and tells your boss. It could be you writing an angry letter to your politician who then goes and passes it on to those in power. So what I'm saying is, and those in power can then go and speak to the ones who are fucking carpet bombing Gaza, and next thing you wiped off the face there. All I'm pointing out is, right, it's really, really simple, right? Just remember that there is thought crime, and everything that's happening on earth, right? Everything that you would see as being really, really bad and you would want to stop is due to people having thought crime. And according to the people who are in power, right? As simple as that, right? And what am I saying to the people in power? I'm saying to them, look, you know, you have to give. You have to give, you know. All I want is to give, you know. And, you know, if you give and you have good intention, I fucking assure you, you will channel the moral law of divinity, love, the source of love itself, the meaning of fucking life through compassion, and genuinely, everything will work out for you. And all I'm saying to every single person in power is this: fucking tell people the truth. Just tell them the truth. And tell them, fucking listen, by the way, take on board what Erol's saying, realise, don't have any fucking negative thoughts, and will not carpet bomb your children, will not do this, will not do that, will not do this, will not do that, will not do this, will not do that. I'm telling you, I'm fucking telling you, on a global scale, how many people have been put through a fucking meat grinder in Ukraine? How many children are being murdered everywhere on the fucking planet? How's that fucking happening? The answer is because of thought crime. Yeah? That's the best thing I can say to you. Remember, if anything comes to you and you have a negative thought about it, fuck that. Be non-reactionary, right? Be loving, right? Think about harmony. Harmony, which leads to, well, peace, right? Which leads to pure love, which leads to respect. I'm away now. Only because I've got to buy some Guinness. If I had to add one thing, as regards going beyond being non-reactionary, I'm a constant now. I used to switch it on and off. There were some times I'd switch it off, and sometimes switch it on. Never switch it fucking off. Go for it. Be non-reactionary. I'm a constant across the board, including that. No. Go for it.